Hey everyone, it's BlueLizardJello and welcome back to the Surge walkthrough. Last time we got even further into Central Production B. We ran through the recycling plant, got some shining coins. Oh, just dropped my bloodhound. We defeated a number of robots, but today we're going even further and we might actually get to a boss. But before we do that, I just want to show off this new armor. This is the full Scarab set. I did show you in the last episode exactly where you could farm the Scarab set here in Central Production B. In fact, we're going to be going back there because there is an item I missed, and if you're looking to collect all the things, including all the collectibles and the comic books, we have to go back there because I did miss a comic book. But I wanted to show you this set because if you take a look at the actual benefit to wearing the full set bonus, wearing a full set of Scarab gear increases the effect of all vital boost implants. If you find yourself with very little health, wearing the Scarab armor can help because it seems to give you an extra 5 HP for every vital boost that you have, regardless of its version. But there are a number of downsides, and this is something that I actually haven't touched on before. Most armor sets have pros and cons. For example, yes, you do get more HP for using the vital implants with the Scarab gear, but if you take a look, we're actually using 50% more energy consumption. So if you actually take a look at the energy bar up under my stamina, you can see the drone, well, there we go. The drone is actually pushed further to the right because it takes more energy in order to activate the drone. Some of the other drawbacks, minus 2% attack speed, 10% stamina consumption with run and dodge, and that is additive. So if we actually take a look at both legs, of course, it's going to say the same thing. So it costs us more energy to summon our drone, it costs us more stamina to run and dodge, and we're attacking slower. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your armor, because even though the set bonus might be preferable, there are downsides to each armor set. Now, before we actually head out into the wide open world, I'm going to go ahead and put my Lynx armor back on and the implants that I want, and I'll see you in just a moment. All right, much better. So as you can see, I do have all of my Lynx gear on. I do have the Bloodhound. We're going to be using some heavy weapons today, but I also have both the staff and the Volatile Spectre favorited, so I can swap through depending on the enemies that I'm fighting. And implants are largely the same. A couple of vital boosts, mechanized counterweight, vital injection, metavoltaic, and the medical audit. Now, we do have some corrections to make with the last episode. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go and grab that one comic book that I missed so I can show you exactly where that is. So we're going to start by going down here. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to start with the comic book. We're actually going to start with a shortcut that I didn't open up until I had actually stopped recording, which was a bit foolish because it would have been very, very handy indeed. All right, now we're going to deal with this guy. Let's see what kind of damage we can do with a backstab here. Not quite a one-shot, but that's all right. And finish you. There we go. So right up here, on the left, we did open up this one door, which is going to lead back basically to where we ended last episode. But up here, this is where we grabbed one of the audio logs. And this door wasn't open, but I actually made the little mistake here of getting... Oh, just kidding. Of actually getting over here to the recycling area, but not opening up this door, which is kind of foolish on my part, to be honest. Good hit. But in here, this is where the bridge control was, the med station's on the other side, and you saw I was listening to an audio log. I looked at this door, but I never opened it. Well, if you open it, it is a very, very nice and short run back to the med station, or the operation station. Right, okay, there's one clarification made. Next, we're going to be heading across this bridge. And we're going to be going near to where Arena was. In fact, you know, I'm going to have to deal with these guys, so let's do that. Oh, that was quick. And I don't want to fight both of you. So if one of you wouldn't mind breaking aggro, that would be swell. Perfect. Do some damage with you. Oh man, that counter damage is pretty intense on the Bloodhound. Go ahead and get a cut, get some health back. Oh, actually, we don't have the aggression amplifier on, I just realized. So we are going to have to start relying on the metavoltaic, and that's okay. That's all right. Oh, that does some damage. Okay, I have to remember that. I think it's because it's a very, very low swing. Back off. I'm actually not going to get the cut here because I want to use my metavoltaic. Perfect. Now he's dead. Actually, before we even get the comic book, we are going to fight one of these robots because I do have to clarify something. A number of you pointed out a couple things. Number one, you find it a lot easier to kill these robots simply by strafing around. And if that works for you, that's great. That's perfect. But what was clarified was that when he does his slash attack, yeah, aha, see, I'm silly. That was about chest level. So if I want to dodge that, I actually have to duck. The other slash, let's see if I can get him to do it. No, not this one. This is the AoE. This is the one where you can just get behind him and attack and get the stun him out of that. There we go. You see how it actually traces along the ground? That's the one you can jump. Whereas the one that is chest level, you can actually duck. Let's see if I can read it correctly. Okay, so that would have been the jump. That's the chest. So you can duck that one. It's a little hard to read. I'm not sure. That's a jump. Just learning right now. Okay, and that's the AoE. No big deal. Aha, look at that. There we go. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's just fun right there. Perfect. So yeah, you know, if it works for you to go ahead and just circle strafe, then circle strafe. Whatever works. I really like the jump and dodge mechanic, just because it is something that feels a little bit more involved, if you will. Anyway, do whatever comes naturally. So up here, this is where the vending machine is, just on the other side, and that's where you can farm the scarab gear. But over here, just on top of this shipping container, you can kind of just see it right above my head. That is the second Iron Mouse comic book. There we go. Okay. And here it is. Iron Mouse number 45. Perfect. So there we go. If you're trying to get all the collectibles, don't miss out on that comic book, simply because I neglected to show you. Right. So that is it for the clarifications for last episode. You guys are doing an amazing job at keeping me honest, if you will. If I make a mistake or if I miss something, please do let me know in the comments below, because I want to keep learning just like you do, hopefully. So if you have anything that I missed, or if you just want to add your own tips and tricks, please let me know. I'd be happy to put them into practice if I can. All right. So we are going to start right here. We have the patrolling butterfly. In fact, I might as well go and deal with him now. And I'm still using the volatile specter, but I can go ahead and switch that. I'm trying to get all of my proficiencies up. So let's actually go to, you know what, let's stick to the bloodhound, because we do have pretty low proficiency in heavy. Really good impact there. And go ahead and get the cut. Perfect. Oh, that smash is brutal. Absolutely brutal. By the way, as I'm cutting, I am actually getting some upgrades, which means I am going through and upgrading whenever I can, which isn't all the time. All right, looks like we are going to have to fight you. No big deal. Let's see. Can I read it? That is so great. Oh, that makes me happy. You have no idea how happy that makes me. Oh, good hit. Good hit on your part. All right, let's see. What do we got? And that's a jump. Yes. Oh. All right. I'm sorry for getting giddy, but that just makes me incredibly happy. That just makes me so very happy. All right, you're stuck on the stairs, which means you're going to be a pain now. All right, so we're just going to have to deal with this. At least I can get some free energy and free health. That is the one benefit here. And I just want to kill you, please. And there we go. Ignoring the guy with the Titan. I'm not too concerned about him. But now it is time to push forward. All right, so we got to deal with this guy. Let's go ahead and go to our Bloodhound. We're just about ready to level the proficiency up. That is just an absolute devastating attack. I don't recommend using the Bloodhound if you're looking to get your cuts. It's just not worth it, because more often than not, you are going to end up just killing your adversary. Now, you have 3 enemies in this room. One of them is patrolling, and we're going to try to get his attention. Otherwise, if you don't, then there is a gentleman right behind these storage boxes straight ahead who is going to be very happy to join the fight once we get a little bit closer. And, come on, sometimes he breaks through. There it is. Sometimes he does not. Back up. And the finish. Perfect. All right, come here, grab this item. Some tech scrap. So 2 out of 3 dead. Now behind here, this door is going to open from the other side, so nothing we can do about this just yet. You can actually see the panel just next to it. That'll be a nice handy shortcut and a good way to run back to the boss because yes, we are getting very close to him. And we have this guy who does not wear a lot of armor. Oh, but he does like to apparently get in a little bit closer than I would like. Back up. And get some free health going. Perfect. Metavoltaic. Such a great injection to always have on you. So this level 10 terminal right here, even though you can't really trace this conduit all that well, you can see just over there, it seems that the door is malfunctioning just a little bit, but if we overcharge this, you can see that the power circuit has been bypassed, and now we can open up this door right here, which we will, but there is an item over to the left. We don't want to miss that. So just over here, go ahead and grab another vanadium E-cell implant. And now, you want to have at least 5,000 scrap in this next room. So before I even approach it, I am going to use some of the consumables that I have, and I have quite a few. Just enough. Perfect. That gets me over 5,000, because as soon as we enter this room, did you notice when the person said, "Hey, you," it actually sounded like metal was clanging, and that's because Joe, the person who's talking to us, is actually inside this pipe.
I've got a favor to ask. Don't worry, nothing bad. Just wanted to see if you could get me some tech scraps.
What do you need the tech scrap for?
I'm making something. It's important, very. You could say it's a matter of life and death.
How do I know I can trust you? I mean, who are you?
Well, I can help you there. I'm Joe. Anyway, I know you, well, at least of you, and I chose to trust you.
What if I'd rather keep what's mine?
Well, I'd be very disappointed. It is important, though. Believe me. And if you help me, I'd be ever so grateful.
So at this point, we can give her the 5,000 scrap, or we can just leave. But if you want to continue her quest line, you want to give her 5,000 scrap. And you're going to have to save up, because next time we meet her, which is just before the third boss, we're going to have to give her 10,000.
Guess I'm able to spare some.
Thanks. I won't forget this.
Need to make a move.
In that case, I won't waste any more of your time.
And off she scrambles. That is all we get from Joe for now, so until next time, be well. Now, any of this sludge that's on the ground does cause damage if you go into it. And inside, just a little bit further, we have a couple of enemies, actually a few enemies, and they're wearing some new armor, and they have a new weapon. So we want to get their attention, but this one is rather stationary, whereas, yeah, there we go. The other one is definitely going to follow. So let us just go ahead and get some energy going. You can see a very, very similar moveset to the gentleman that we fought in the very first section, which is good because it means it's something that we are familiar with. Right now we have all of the energy we need. We just need to get a little bit more damage going. Perfect, and there we go, we'll get the cut. And from here, we get a couple of things. We get the Liquidator arm gear schematic, but we also got the Clinch Power Grip, a new weapon for us. So the Clinch Power Grip, it is a single rig, just like the Spectre Bites, and this is actually going to focus a little bit more on the crush and thrust damage than it is anything else. So if you want to play around with it, go right ahead. Really great energy gain. This is an excellent piece of equipment for actually getting limbs off, because you get energy gain extraordinarily quickly, but you don't get a lot of proficiency. This is better kind of in the later stages when you already have high single rig proficiency. But we did also get the schematic for the Liquidator armor set, or at least for the arm, and that is one of my favorite armor sets in this game because a full set bonus actually reduces elemental damage, including stuff like this sludge. So we just got the arm. Now I want to focus on, we'll go ahead and get the chest piece. And let's see. Gonna do some horizontal swings since we're going for the chest, but I do want to actually use some metavoltaic here. Back off just a little bit more, and we'll have enough energy again for the cut. There it is. And there we go. There's the Liquidator body gear. So if you want to farm for the armor, now they're not the only two that have it in this zone, but just keep in mind if you want it, you can get it from these two guys very, very easily. And it's going to be a really good armor set for the next couple of zones because elemental damage becomes a lot more frequent. Toxic waste maintenance, you can understand why these people are wearing something that would reduce the elemental damage. Now we do have the enemy right here by the email station, and let's see, can we get a leg? Yes, we can. I'm not sure if I can actually get the backstab here, and I definitely can. And I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to kill him. Ah, there it is, there's the cut. Ooh, did I just pull his leg off? Because it kind of looked like I did. Anyway, that is 3 out of the 4 pieces of Liquidator set, and let's listen to this email.
To all Sector 12 employees, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unlicensed gambling violates federal and state law, and thus places Creo at a not insignificant risk of criminal charges and liability. So, all raging drone events are to be canceled immediately. Borrowed drones and other company equipment can be returned anonymously. Don't make me the bad guy here. I love a good drone fight as much as the next guy, but what we're doing here is too important to risk infractions of this nature. R. Ferguson.
Just a company memo, nothing special. Now, this guy unfortunately does not have the head armor that we're looking for, so we'll just kind of get the kill if we can, or get the kill however we can, I should say. Using my metavoltaic to stay topped off. And back off. And there we go, there's the cut. Might as well get some armor if we can, why not? Now, of course, you probably saw that we do have this bot here, so let's practice some pro dodging again. Oh, that is just, I'm not gonna get over that. I think that is just the cat's pajamas, if you will. My cats, yes, beautiful. My cats don't even wear pajamas. You know what? For those naysayers that said circle strafing was the easier way, au contraire. Dodging with the volatile specter, that's where the fun is. Right, okay, so keep going. Oh, nice and slowly. We have butterfly wielding enemy with the scarab armor. So once again, if you didn't get it previously, you can go ahead and get it now. Come on, charge at me. And the finish. Perfect, no problem at all. By the way, if you didn't notice when I was looking out the window while listening to that email, that is the boss that we actually saw in the very beginning of the game, just as soon as we stepped outside, and it's the one that I said originally in development, the plan was to actually have this enemy pop up more and more, but fortunately, he is only here once, and he is going to be the boss of this section. Okay, so we have this door here that's not going to open from this side. We're going to actually have a couple of those. Oh, and it is just about time to fight the boss, I'm realizing. We are getting pretty close. Being very, very cautious. So you can see here another crossroads. Well, let's deal with this enemy. But this is actually going to lead back to Ops, which will work out just fine for us. Good kill, good clean kill. And you know what? Let's use the metavoltaic to stay topped off. So yeah, this will head back to Ops, which is where we want to go for now. Getting over here. Luckily, no one here manning the rivet station. Some more scrap. Charging through all the crates. Now, yep, there he is. Almost dead. And the finish. So much damage from the heavy weapons, but again, not ideal if you're trying to actually go for some armor cuts. There's some Mark 1 tungsten alloy. If you don't already have your weapons upgraded to at least Mark 1, I'm surprised you've made it this far. Now, while I actually get the shortcut, this is going to lead down to the boss, but this is going to lead back to the med station. I'm going to go ahead and listen to this audio log.
Will you check in? I waited 30 minutes for you yesterday. That's far too long for me to be out and about. I need those items. But if you can't procure them, I have other sources, so don't worry. Just let me know you're okay.
Well, I was mistaken. That door is a security door, so we can't do anything there, but here is the headpiece to the Liquidator that we want. Perfect. So let us dash in there, get some good hits, and then just back off. Nice vertical attacks there to aim just at the head, and there's the cut. Perfect. Now we have all of the schematics for the Liquidator set. Again, one of my favorite armor sets in the game. Don't forget to actually pick it up. All right, now, so from here, we have over here, lift going up, as well as a terminal. Of course, the lift isn't going to move until we actually use the terminal. We also have the boss over there, and then over in this section, you probably already saw it, we do have an exo lift. We're going to actually start with the exo lift. Typically, the exo lifts in this zone give you the opportunity to bypass some of the more dangerous sections. In this case, it's actually just to grab a couple of items, this Blue X cable implant. And then down here, we can drop down, but there's really nothing else down here for the time being. Now, if we land on that enemy, or if we just attack as we're falling, we can just land it nice and safely, but we're going to head back the way we came and just travel on foot. In fact, I might do just a touch of backtracking since we are just about at the boss. We do have a little bit of scrap on us, but we are generating a really good multiplier as well. So as long as you feel confident, now would be a great time to actually take the boss on. But you know what? I think, yep, before we even go back to the med station, we're going to head back just a little bit because, like I said, there were multiple places for us to go. And this actually doesn't go anywhere. There's just, I believe, an item up here. What just happened? Where is the enemy? Anyway, let's grab this audio log.
I think I passed out from the pain. Don't know how long I've been lying there, cold on the concrete floor, half dead, awakening to a nightmare. I couldn't remember where I was, who I was. But when I saw those people, what happened to them? Somehow I made it to Ops, and the memories are blurry and hazy. I remember the pain. I've never been so afraid in my whole life. Didn't even realize I was totally blind in my left eye until medbay patched me up. Guess I'm better now. Even my sight is coming back slowly.
Perfect kill, perfect kill. Oh my goodness, that is honestly, at this point, just becoming fun. I don't know how else to describe it other than I enjoy fighting those robots now. And now we got another implant. This time, it's not new to us. It is just a different version. This is the mechanized counterweight V1. So it is a direct downgrade from what we're already using. So ignore it. Get it if you're a completionist, but at this point with the V2 that we already have in store, it is really not going to do us any good whatsoever. All right. Well, in preparing for the boss, let's go ahead and grab this little shortcut back to operations. Wait for this to power on. And lo and behold, look where we are. Material Depot. The station is just up there. Very, very easy to get to. Excellent shortcut. Excellent shortcut. But we're just going to go back down because it is time for us to finish this area, take on the boss, get the special variant of the weapon, which, by the way, is an extremely fun weapon. Even though it is just a different version of one that we already have, wait until you see one of the combos. I think you'll agree it is just too much fun to pass up. All right, let's actually go back to the Bloodhound. At this point, if we get cuts, great. If not, no big deal because we already have all of the schematics for the Liquidator. Oh, jeez, that hurt for some reason. Use Metavoltaic to stay topped off. Oh, a little bit too close. That was on me. And swing again. There's the kill, and not quite enough for Metavoltaic again. That's a shame. Would you mind charging at me? Alright, that's alright. As long as I stay out of range, I don't mind. Heal when I can. Back off. Nice and slow. Try and stay out of the sludge when I can. Perfect. Alright, we're not too far away from being topped off. Got another proficiency level in heavy weapon, up to 7 now. And this is the enemy that we actually saw from up above. So again, if you thought someone was coming, if you do want to just go ahead and land on him, you can do that if you desire. Not something you have to do. Once again, get some more health. And there's the finish. Now from here, we have a couple of doors that, as you can see, don't actually open right now. Once we get further beyond, once we actually kill the boss, we will be able to open up some of these doors, which again, will make it just a little bit easier to get back. You can see right here, this is actually indicating that is to the maglev station, and that's where we're gonna be heading once we get towards, or past rather, the boss.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I just can't wait any longer. I hope you're okay, that you're still out there. That you found a safe place. I'm going to take the maglev to the old biolabs now. Try to get there if you can. I'll be waiting. My thoughts and prayers are with you.
Benjamin Burke was trying to wait for us. Unfortunately, he couldn't wait any longer. Somehow he managed to bypass this robot that's waiting for us in there, but he's gonna meet us in the biolabs, or at least so he says. Here we have another implant. This time it is the Endurance Enhancer V1. The Endurance Enhancer is going to give you more stamina. So if you're someone who finds themselves using way too much stamina, adding an extra 11 isn't the worst thing in the world, but I find that it's a lot easier just to manage my stamina or use something that actually improves my stamina consumption rate versus actually using an implant slot for this. But it is an option if you so choose. Now, one last thing before we actually go and tackle the boss, and that is to overcharge this terminal will open one of the doors that we just saw. Not the one to the maglev station, but we do have this one over here right to the left. We can now open. And this is going to head to that one shortcut that I mentioned. Now, there is an enemy in here, so just be careful. Where is he hiding? There he is. Get his attention. Kick him down. Big finish. And then before we actually crash through those crates, I'm going to open up this door. Hopefully this is ringing a bell now. Everything should be dead, so I'm pretty safe. But this is where we came down. We had 2 of the Yosuke Butterfly enemies, 1 of the Titan-wielding enemies, and then a couple of items. But now, if we were to run back from ops, we can come down here if we want, but there are some other options as well. In fact, there are a lot of options. Hiding behind the crates, we do have another destructible door with an exolift. And we have another destructible door. Another vital boost, and that is actually all that is down here. So, just another health increasing implant. Just one of the lower tier ones, but if you want to stack health, you're going to want all of these that you can have. Not to mention, eventually, when we get an improved rig, because yes, there are improved rigs, you will be able to stack them very, very readily, because the next rig that we get, instead of having 8 implant slots, it will actually have slots for 12. Now this boss, once again, not terribly difficult. I am not sure if he's actually weak to elemental damage, but I'm going to try and use the Volatile Spectre, because a lot of the moves that I'm going to do in order to stay safe are actually just going to be dashing attacks, so the speed doesn't matter nearly as much. I'm also going to try and focus on using my mechanized counterweight, because this will add a lot of damage. I could have actually used the implant to increase my elemental damage, but again, because I'm not sure if this boss is weak to it, I didn't really want to run that risk. Now the question is, do I want to top off before I start attacking? No, we're gonna risk it. It's not a very long run back, but as soon as we go in there, and actually you can see him right up there, before we even go in there, let me tell you how to get the version 2.0. In fact, many of you accidentally got the version 2.0 when you first fought this boss, because it actually makes sense. It's intuitive how you get it. In order to get his weapon, version 2.0, all you need to do is cut off all of his legs before you kill him. And in my opinion, that's actually the easiest thing to do because that removes a lot of the elements with which he would attack you. So we're gonna focus on the legs one at a time. Once he gets into stage 2, he has 2, maybe 3 legs left. We're gonna still try and cut those before we go for his central core. Sounds easy enough? Well, hopefully, we'll see. But let's give it a shot.
Contamination detected. Lockdown in operation. Initiating.
And here we go. So the idea is, perfect, you want to get his arms to fall down just like that. Or if he does that attack, that works too. But once you knock him down, that is when you want to start attacking the joint. And that's when you'll eventually start knocking these off. So as I said, just using the dash attacks is one of the most reliable ways of getting this done. But as soon as you see that leg start to extend, come on. Just dash in, get an attack, and then back off. Anytime you start spinning, it's time to get out of there. And, all right, there's one leg gone, perfect. And we're just gonna keep rinsing and repeating as much as we need. Now, we are completely topped off, and I just used a mechanized counterweight. You can see 85 damage, which is excellent, excellent damage at this stage. And there's another leg gone. All right, perfect. Let's keep going. Oh, watch when he does this. Does do a rather big slam, and that will hurt quite a lot. And you know what? Oh, I actually didn't want to use my drone. I wanted to store that charge, but that's okay. And start spinning back off. Back up. There we go. Just keep going. I'm telling you, the dash attacks are just so useful in this fight. It allows you to use some of the slower, heavier hitting weapons a lot more readily. Uh-oh. Don't get too stuck under there. All right, there we go. Just stored a drone charge. Watch this spin. All right, these arms are going to be coming off soon. All right, there we go. So now we are in stage 2 where things do get a little bit more dangerous, but as long as you stay quick on your feet and you use the dash attack, you should still be fine. Watch it. Okay, so we need to... Oh no, I am stuck in a corner. That is a bad place to be, but luckily I was able to get out of there. So right now you can see we're targeting his core, and that's where we're going to be able to kill him. But we want to focus still on getting his arms, which this time it's not as easy because he's not going to just slam them down like he did in the last stage. So we have to be a little bit more aggressive. But that is a good one to punish. Back up, back up. Oh, careful. And where am I? He's actually being really, really understanding right now. And what are you doing? All right, he's doing the flame attack. Anytime he does that, if you're close enough, you can actually dodge under him. I am a little bit too afraid to do that, so I will almost always just simply dodge and get... Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of damage there. That's all right. When we can, I will go ahead and use my metavoltaic, but I do have my big heal in case I need it. I have all 3 charges left. That's actually a decent time to get an attack in if you can dodge quickly enough. Now what I want to bait, now not this, I want to get the attack where he spins his arm. That's going to be ideal for me. There it is. Okay, one leg is gone. We need to start backing up. I'm actually going to use one of my big heals now. So just 2 legs remaining. Get my drone going because, hey, any damage is good damage, right? In fact, I don't even think it does any at this point. Okay, I went in a little bit early. Need to give him a little bit more opportunity to... Oh, yeah. Watch for that one. I need to give him a little bit more opportunity to stop spinning. Speaking of spinning, start dodging, start dodging, start dodging. Perfect. And was that another arm? It was. We have 1 more arm remaining. That's it. So once he is with that, without that arm, we can then just focus on killing him. And then, honestly, it becomes pretty easy to do once all of his legs are gone. Because at that point, almost any attack to his central core sends him reeling, especially with a heavier weapon. All right, spin. This is actually going to be a good opportunity, hopefully. Nope, not quite. Watch it. Oh, good. He did that move. 1 more, I think, ought to knock that arm off. And then it is just finishing him off. Nope. At that point, there we go. He is almost dead, and his last arm is now off. We are free to engage. You just obviously have to worry about the fire, which does hurt, which does do a lot of damage. But if we can get in there, you can see it just sends him reeling. And, nope, watch it, nope. Uh-oh, we're missing. We're missing a lot more than I would like to be right now. All right, come on, how about, what do you want to do for me? That works for me. Oh, no. And, oh, he's so close. So close to dying. In fact, Drone, do you want to finish him off with your little pot shots? You do! There it is, though. The LU-74 Firebug is offline. We killed him while taking very little damage, and we got the Firebugs. This is a twin rig weapon, just like the butterflies that we got before, but this is the Firebug Throttle version 2.0 because we did knock all of his legs off. And check this out. So, similar moveset to the butterflies that we have. Also, let's go ahead and store a drone charge. Why not? But check this out. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I need to show this first. So it shares the moveset, including combos. So I'm going to show you 2 combos. R1, R1, R2. We've seen that before, pretty cool. And then this is R2, R2, R1. A really cool backflip that I don't use too often, but with the Firebugs, you may want to. Really cool backflip, right? Pretty neat. But now let's do the same with the Firebugs. And then, yeah. How about a little Tony Stark Iron Man action? Very, very cool. An excellent weapon, if I do say so myself. But there we go. That is this entire section now completed. And we can actually move on to the next, which is going to be the biolabs. But there's actually still yet another door to open and another item to get. So if you didn't actually give Arena the MG Negotiator, there is a staff here called the Biomaster, and she will accept this in its place. It's all up to you which one you want to get. Now that's just some scrap. But if we go up here, there's an exolift. Let's take this top. Let's go ahead and take this down. And we have right here, we have a new weapon, the Seru HSS Biomaster. A very, very cool flaming staff. You can see high elemental damage. A very cool fire staff. She will take it. Whichever one you want to give her is completely up to you now that you know your options. But there you go.
We finally found our little thief. It's probably the same culprit who's been hitting the lab storerooms. She ended up dropping a purloined Biomaster in a hurry to get away. Looks like she was heading towards the old abandoned labs. I'll file a full report when I get back. Security can handle this one from here on out.
Is that our little friend, Miss Serena? Is she the thief? Could be. Very well could be. All right. Now, I actually went a little bit too far. I'm going to do a quick backtrack here. So we're going to go back up through the exo lift. Before we go to the biolabs, we want to make sure we scrounge every bit of loot we can. So head back up. And this is actually going to lead to that one door that we saw just a little while ago before the boss. That way, if you do ever have to make the run back and forth, which, by the way, you will want to, you can do so right here. And there you go. We are back in toxic waste maintenance. But now let us clean up just the last little bit that we have, and we are done with this area. 2 out of the 5 bosses done with both of the improved versions. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Not to mention, we have a good bit of scrap on us, and I didn't actually show it, but I have about 20,000 that's banked in the med station. So as soon as we get to the next location, we'll be able to do some upgrading and some improvement to our rigs. Over to the right, that's going to take us to the maglev. There's nothing we can do here in the circulation tower because we need a special power core that we're going to get in the next section in order to open up that drone lock. What we can do is, though, before we go to the maglev, is actually head to the right. You can see it says ops is this way, and indeed it is. So we're in support link 1, and just up here. Once again, decontamination access and operations would be right up there. Every door that we can open now in this section has been opened. Very, very cool. I've said it before, but again, I am just going to continue to praise the level design in the Surge. They did a great job, an absolutely great job. It does feel like you're in this very large facility and factory, but unfortunately that does mean that a lot of the locations do look very similar, but at least there's a story reason, a contextual reason as to why that is, and it's not just, well, we couldn't be bothered.
I know. You've heard me say it again and again, but Creo cares. Let's be honest. Over the last couple of decades, things haven't been too great. We know. We've seen the figures, and that's why we created Project Resolve. But with an ailing population, developmental problems, disability rising at an alarming rate in children, some would have you believe it's too late. At least that's what elements in the media would have you believe. But Creo has you covered. From family daycare centers to full medical coverage, your family is our family. The average workplace can be littered with hazards. But at Creo, we're proud to say we never had more than a stuffed dove. With the implementation of our rigs, we've made you stronger, faster, tougher. The rigors of the workplace won't even give you pause. And due to the integration of your neural interface into Creo's core system, our professional healthcare staff can monitor your well-being 24/7. If that doesn't make you sleep tight, I don't know what will.
I'm not so sure I believe Mr. Hackett when he says that the worst accident that Creo has seen is a stub toe. That just seems a little bit far-fetched for the heavy machinery that you can find in this area. But that is it for Central Production B, recycling, toxic waste decontamination, and the like. So, I'm going to be moving on to the biolabs. Hopefully you guys learned a little something in this episode. If you did, please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you learned. And as I said earlier, if you have any tips or tricks or anything that I missed, make sure you put that too, and I will address it in the upcoming episodes. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Full medical coverage. Your family is our family. The average workplace.
Next stop, Resolve Biolabs, Blue Sky Station.
Never had more than